Okay. In this video, I'm going to give you a overview of the various options you're probably considering or will be considering for your enterprise when implementing uh, an AI model for use inside your company. Okay. So let's start with the most common default one, which is to use publicly available commercial models like ChatGPT or Claude. So if you're planning your vacation to Mexico and you are trying to find the best tortillas in Cabo, this is a pretty fine option. And the reason it's fine is because you don't really care if anyone else knows about your tortilla preferences. But if you are an intellectual property backed company, i.e., a pharmaceutical or biotechnology company advancing your assets through clinical trials, this is not acceptable. Unfortunately, because of the market dynamics of the competition between these foundation model providers, you are in a tough spot. GPT and Claude are in competition with each other to have the highest quality model, and what that means is they're fighting for access to your data and IP so that they can be better than each other. And this sucks for you. So this option, number one, gives you the highest model quality because this data has been effectively stolen so that you can get the best tortillas in Cabo. The IP security with this option is unacceptable for enterprise applications. Now, let's look at option 2, where you would swing the exact opposite direction. You say, okay, I'm not going to use any I'm not going to use any models provided by foundation model providers like Anthropic or GPT. So instead, I'm going to go and use a private local model. So you can go to a model hosting service like Llama, and you say, all right, I want to download this version of an open source model. So you might hire a contractor and say, hey, Mr. Contractor, give us a computer that has this model on it. And you're going to run into some practical challenges there. Here's one of them. Since they are open source, who's going to actually upkeep these models? What if something changes? Are you going to hire the contractor back? How are you actually going to deal with that? And another problem is that the value of the language models isn't just that they're language models, it's that they are large. So what I found through my experience of building using local models is for the purposes of writing SOPs, they're absolutely not good enough. So for these practical reasons, these running privately hosted local models is not going to work for you. Now, there is a way to basically take advantage of model quality at scale while protecting your intellectual property security. So companies, well, not many companies, Microsoft specifically, on their Azure cloud platform has model hosting. But you got to be very careful here because the policies are very different depending on which model you use and which agreement they're running under. Based on the last time that I read and reviewed their policies, I recommend not using Claude on Azure. It looks like it's protected, but when you use Claude through Azure, Azure is acting as a gateway. It is not hosting the actual model on their own servers. What that means for you as a consumer is your data is going to Microsoft, but then it's going straight to Claude through Microsoft. This is not acceptable. The Goldilocks sweet spot is a specific agreement between Microsoft Azure and OpenAI called Azure OpenAI. What is unique and different about this specific agreement is that the GPT series models are hosted on site on Microsoft's own servers. And what that means for you as a consumer is your data is just going to Azure servers, which you're already using. You can take advantage of highest quality models at the same time as protecting your data. At Method Made, this is the architecture that we built our system on so that you can leverage AI in your enterprise while protecting your data privacy. Now, let's take a look at how do we actually see if you're using Azure OpenAI. Okay, so I'm inside my Azure portal. I'm at my resource groups, and I'm going to find the resource group containing all of my method-made resources, which is over here. You can see all these resources listed, and most importantly is this one here, which you can see is type Azure OpenAI. I'm going to go to this resource. And in this left-hand menu over here, I'm going to go under Resource Management. And here I'm going to click Keys and Endpoint. Your keys are going to be hidden. What's most important is this right here. This endpoint is the API endpoint. This is where your data is getting sent through. See that it is at someaddress.openai.azure.com. This is how you know that your data is running on Azure OpenAI.